slumber parties. They're all the rage.
We all just hang out, watch movies, talk.
Play games, Monopoly, and stuff like that.
Just do the normal stuff.
These all-night teenage gatherings are typically hosted by trusting parents. They used to be reserved for after-prom nights and other special occasions, but now they're happening all the time to keep kids in a controlled environment so no one has to drive home or pick up in the middle of the night. Weston mom Linda Feldman says prom night was a big night for co-ed overnights when her two sons were in high school.
We knew the family. We knew that she would be there. We knew there would be no alcohol.
But while many of these parties are in large part filled with good old-fashioned fun and games like ping pong, pool, and a movie, many teens I talk to say they're anything but innocent. This teen, who doesn't want to be identified, told me the number one rule, no alcohol allowed, is often broken.
You have to figure out how you're going to get it, and where you're going to store it, and how you're going to get it inside without your parents seeing. So usually it's tried to plan a few days in advance and get it down there before the actual event.
Parenting expert and author Lynn Griffin is not a fan of the co-ed slumber party. She says don't do it. Whether your kids are good straight-A students or not, remember, they are teenagers. Not only does Griffin worry about alcohol consumption, she worries about sex. By hosting these co-ed parties, she says parents are creating a social situation that is ripe for testing the waters.
Why wouldn't we expect them to experiment? All we have to do is think back to when we were teenagers and know that if no one is looking and you have access to alcohol or you have access to a girl that you like and everyone's sort of egging you on, that wouldn't that be nice if that were a relationship for you, that temptation is awfully hard for someone 15, 16, 17 to contend with.
This is definitely a hot-button issue for parents. I talk to so many who say they feel pressure from their kids to host one, that everybody's doing it. And while many parents would talk to me in person about this issue, they wouldn't dare talk to me on camera, afraid of what other parents might think. This woman knows all too well what can go wrong when kids are left alone to party all night. She hosted 3 sleepovers for about 20 kids. Her intentions were for the best, letting them spend the night so other parents didn't have to hop in a car at 1 a.m. to pick their kids up. On each occasion, she says, she set strict rules, and on each occasion, they were broken.
There was no alcohol allowed. There were no water bottles allowed. There were no purses allowed. If anyone wanted to go to sleep, the girls were 2 floors above the boys.
She also says she stayed up all night, randomly checking in on the group.
It was too stressful for me. The liability issue. We didn't condone alcohol in our house and decided after, a few times that it was coming in, even with our best of intentions. It's just not worth it. I feel like you give them an inch and they take a mile.
So are co-ed slumber parties an unnecessary risk? Lynn Griffin thinks so and suggests you talk to your kids about alternative plans.
What is going to purposely happen between 2 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning that could potentially be anything but a recipe for disaster? You know that as a parent you're not going to stay up between 2 and 6 o'clock watching what people are doing. You just know you're not. You're not going to be popping in there at 3 going, hey, everybody. So what is that benefit? Ask yourself as a parent, what does that 4 to 5 hours in the wee morning hours do for you as a parent? And what does it do for your teen? It really doesn't do much.
Try telling that to Linda Feldman, who, like a growing number of parents, didn't seem to worry about her son's overnight parties.
But if the parents are going to be there, I don't really think it's bad.
So whether you agree or disagree with these sleepovers, if your kid gets an invite, our expert says to be prepared. Think carefully about the rules you want in place so that you're not losing sleep over your decision. Sarah Underwood, Fox 25 News.